Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Today we travel the globe with the help of an interesting device. So we're going to review this, unbox it, use it to travel the world, and stay tuned to the end because I've got a question I want to ask you. You're not going to want to miss this. Now, we have reviewed a number of products from Ocean Digital in the past, and we haven't found a bad one yet. So I expect that will continue with this. I'm very excited to check this guy out. Let's check out the box real quick. Why not? So this is the WR-390, and based on the dimensions that I saw in the picture and just the size of this box, I'm guessing they're going to be in the ballpark of some of the other sort of desktop units that we've reviewed in the past. This box has a welcome screen. Hello, welcome to Ocean Digital. So internet radio, FM radio, Bluetooth playback, and DAB plus for my friends that have access to such things. And the first thing we have here is the user manual. So there's a glance at the device itself. These manuals are very, very good, illustrated, etc., etc. One thing I love about the Ocean Digital products is once you've mastered the menu system, which is pretty intuitive, but once you master it with one product, you instantly know how to navigate all of the products because they use a very similar menu system. All right, so the product is in these, it's like the same exact material when you go to McDonald's and they give you a drink tray. Same material there, and sort of a fabric wrap. I like that. And here's our first peek of the product itself. Ooh, beautiful. I like the, I guess it's a black wood grain. Form factor feels kind of identical-ish to another desktop unit we reviewed a few years ago, but that's a good form factor because, by the way, it's got some good weight to it. It's heavy. That's perfect for just sitting on the countertop without taking up a lot of space. So this would be really good for like a bathroom or a kitchen, something of that nature. The bottom here, you can see the seam of the veneer, but it's a good, highly textured veneer. Rubberized feet, nothing on the sides. On the back, we do have a base port. Our antenna stows away right there. In terms of connectivity back here, we've got the USB-C port. This has a battery, so you charge it up and then it operates wirelessly. So it's portable in that sense. It's got a reset button, LED for the charging, and a headphone jack as well. So my first internet radio was an Ocean Digital similar to this, and one of the questions I was like was, well, what if I don't want a battery operated unit because I wanted to hook it up to my hi-fi? And I found out that you could just leave it connected and it acts as a continuous power supply as well. And then with the headphone jack and about 80% on the volume, you can run this as a line input into your larger system. The action is going to occur up here in terms of data entry. Is that user interface? Sorry, I work in IT, and so I come out of these meetings and I'm just like in IT mode. So this knob here, this is plastic. This is a plastic panel. These seem to be like, well, they're plastic buttons, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of a button that is. It's got a little hard click to it, not much travel. So transport controls at home. We'll go through all this stuff. Presets, a heart button. Usually you can like heart like up to 99 channels and then program a limited number with a one button push to access it. And then you've got the display screen. And the thing about this is, well, that little tab just broke off there. So I got to figure out a way to get the edge of that. There's a protective film on here, which will be a little more difficult now that that tab broke off, but no worries. There we go. Okay, pull that off just like that. And then you can see the little infrared receiver there for the remote, and they even include the batteries. So let's get this plugged in and ready to rock. Okay, let's go ahead and power it up. Pressing and holding the power button, we'll get a little welcome screen down there. Ocean Digital. Their stuff is really good. I really, really like it. So if you're new to internet radio or you just don't recall, the beauty of these is you have access to like 40,000 radio stations and growing. Any radio station that's broadcasting that offers an internet stream, you can pick up. And if it's not available in the built-in database, which is SkyTune, get a lot of people say, what if SkyTune goes away? It's not a huge deal because internet radio is probably not going away anytime soon. So as long as that is the case, you can still manually program in IP addresses to radio stations. But in the meantime, you can use the built-in service, which is free. It's SkyTune to browse. And as I'll show you, you'll be able to browse by country, by genre, by city, by, most popular. It's crazy. There's just so much content out there at good quality for streaming, and it's all free content. So once you buy the radio, assuming you have a network connection, an internet connection, you've got free, unlimited content, no monthly fees, none of that, which is really, really cool. But the first thing you got to do is get it hooked up to your internet. I would say that's the most difficult part just because it's tedious. So let me get the lights adjusted and we're going to look at the menu screen. I'm going to show you kind of how to navigate it, how to get the internet programmed and all that good stuff. So the very first thing that happens once you get past the welcome screen is configure the network, which of course we do want to do. So I'm going to go over here to yes. By the way, I'm navigating with the remote for now just because it's easier the way this is hooked up. Clicking on yes, and you're going to go to add or remove AP, and you can have it scan. As you can see, there's a couple of choices for how you access the access point. So let me go ahead and get my personal network added, and we'll go from there. I've added my network and the password, and it's automatically doing an update, which is great. Another benefit of a connected device like this is you can do firmware updates without needing to connect it or get any software in hand. It just does it automatically. You've got a signal strength indicator up here, battery indicator here, time of day there as well. And obviously, while it's doing that, your speaker is going to be in this region. And if it's anything like the other unit that I had, similar form factor, it's going to sound remarkably well. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. Hopefully, I get more people interested in internet radio because it's something that's kind of off the beaten path for a lot of people. And the biggest thing people are like is, well, I could do that on my phone. Why do I need that? I'll just use the TuneIn app. Well, a lot less advertising, a lot more content available. And it's just a different experience because you get that tactile experience that you do with a physical device. Okay, so once you've got that set up, you will notice that your IP address will kind of flash in the top right hand corner, and that is a private IP address. So you can navigate to that IP address on a computer, which will give you a cool interface that you can use to set a couple of things up for your internet radio, including manually entering IP addresses for radio stations that are not in the SkyTune database. Okay, so here we are in the menu, and we can go left and right through these various options here, and I want to show you what each of them does. Let's go ahead and go back to SkyTune, which is the primary one. So this, if you hit enter, and again, I'm using the remote, gives you three options here. So you've got SkyTune, and if you hit enter there, it takes you to the browsing utility for the SkyTune service. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. You can also search SkyTune for keywords. You can look at your history, etc., etc. If I go over here to favorites, obviously that's where your favorites can be stored. And under configuration, this is where all of your settings, I'm not going to go through all of this stuff, but you can set up all of the settings, and this thing has a ton of settings, including EQ, display dimmer, buffer time, like a sleep timer, software updates, etc., etc. There's also a sleep timer utility in here, a timer utility, an alarm clock, Bluetooth streaming, which means that you connect your device to this and it acts like a Bluetooth speaker, FM radio, DAB radio, and media center. So this thing is chock full of capabilities. For the purposes of this video and the primary use case of this device, we're going to stick with the SkyTune service. So you will see it says 1 of 5. That's how many options there are on the current page you are on. So in this case, we've got local radio, global most popular, global all, globe by region, and so on and so forth. If you dive into one of those particular menus, it will bring up another one where you can search by state, by genre, etc., etc. Backing out here, if I go down to globe by genre, you can look at music-based channels or talk-based channels if you wanted to see what was available. They've got categories for Chinese storytelling, humor and comedy, education, entertainment, kids and family, news, traffic, everything, paranormal, religious, sports, storytelling, and more. So as you can see, it's pretty crazy. Just for grins, let's do a little Chinese storytelling. That sounds interesting. So it's going to pull up a list of stations that have that as their main programming feature. And as you can see, here's one, and we're going to click on it and give it a listen.
五湖楚地方又筑了一座新城，就是现在的大城了。清朝光绪14年，也就是1888年，设塔尔巴哈台抚民直隶厅。
It sounds fantastic. The sound quality is amazing. And with the headphone jack, you can connect it to any audio system that you want. Don't forget that we've got these presets up here. So we can either press and hold the heart to favorite it, or we can press one of these presets here, and that will save that particular station in there. So you've got 4 presets and a heart preset where we would go into that menu that we saw earlier. Then you can navigate some basic navigation controls. The home button is pretty helpful because it'll take you back to this screen whenever you want. And then there's a dedicated timer button and a power button as well. So back to the original purpose of this video. Now that we've kind of shown the device, unboxed it, tested it, etc., let's check out 5 countries' radio and give them a listen. How about the Czech Republic? So we're going to start with the Czech Republic, and then from there I get choices most popular by genre, etc., etc. So I can actually do some browsing even within country.
This is Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Praha.
حالا برگردیم به اون سوالی که ما دادیم. اگر شما قانون را رعایت می‌کردید یا رعایت کنید، آیا به درد سر می‌افتید؟
All right, I'm going to hit the home button again. We're going to pick a new country and we're going to check that out. So, going over to right there to the internet radio button, SkyTune, and we're going to go by region. Let's go by region again. Although, like I've shown you, there's a few different ways to do the same thing. And this time we are going to check out Indonesia. So here's the Indonesian by genre. And let's do Asian music. As you can tell, this would be a fun way to discover some new music. All right, next country, we are going to back to the main menu again. SkyTune, by region, and this time let's stay in Asia, but let's pick a different country. We're going to Japan. Here's a station of relaxing music from Belarus. Here's a station in the UAE. How about a station dedicated to playing video game music?
WR Game Bytes Radio transmite música de videojuegos.
So if browsing by country or location doesn't particularly interest you, you can browse by genre and just look for whatever type of music or content that you are looking for. And in a lot of ways, there's 76 entries here. This is a lot more fun than even like satellite radio that you would have in your car at a much higher cost, because again, this is all free. And if I choose any one of these, it's going to bring up, look at this, 285 Christmas stations. If I back out and I go down to classic hits, 7 entries. I'm surprised there's not more actually there. Let's go to classic rock. If you pick classic rock, 2006 different stations in that genre. If you like college radio, you can go down and find 300 stations there. If you like country music, you're going to find 962 stations. So there is content for a lifetime in here. And when you're all done for the day, when you power it off, I love this, sleep now. You should sleep now. And then it gives you a default with a clock, and you can dim this. You can also turn the volume down, which dims it to nothing if you prefer that. All right, my friends, and that's going to do it. It's an awesome product, as always. The question I want to ask you is, do you have an internet radio? Have you had one? Which models, makes would you recommend? What do you love to listen to on it? For me, I really like the artist-specific stations, like the all Glenn Miller 24 hours a day, the all Patsy Cline 24 hours a day, stuff like that. Thank you for being there. Don't forget our merch, our custom record adapters, all that fun stuff, our live shows, our giveaways. Man, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up that you're not going to want to miss. But my friends, that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.